Hi everybody, I hope you're all doing well. This is my second of 4 videos I'm filming today on New Year's Eve for you to watch from New Year's Day. I can't believe we're at the end of 2024, let's get on and review the last book I have read this year, which is Death at the Alma by G.M.Malliet. This was a book that I got in the Shop by Mum Advent Calendar that I got in 2023. And so this was one, because I got it in the Advent Calendar. I didn't know I was going to get it. I have never read G.M.Malliet's work before. I had never heard of this book, so I went in completely blind. And I have to say, I hated it. Absolutely hated this book. Let's end on a negative book review. End of 2024 on a bad book review. This was one of those books where I felt like I didn't know what the heck was going on. It was so odd. So G.M.Malliet, from what I read online when I started reading this book, was that this isn't their first novel, and I think they were educated at Cambridge, I believe. Yes, so she attended Oxford University and holds a graduate degree from the University of Cambridge. So that's why this is set at the University of Cambridge. And so I was like, okay, so it's somebody who lives within the UK for some time. I think. Let me just check. Oh yes, so she lives in the US. It doesn't indicate if she was born in the UK. So I'm not sure there at all. But this is her third novel. So she had published ones previously. And I have to say, it wasn't good at all. So this is set in St. Michael's College, Cambridge. And sorry, I just got an alert on the phone that just flashed up and caught my attention, caught my eye then. That is a fictionalized college at Cambridge. And just so that you're aware, right at the beginning of the book, we have an author's note to explain that. We've got a couple of pages of characters, and then we've got this map to show us exactly the layout of the college, etc., so that we can follow along and read it. So it's set in a completely fictionalized college, but within the University of Cambridge. And basically, it's a college that has fallen on some bad times. They desperately need some money, so they decide to have a fundraiser and bring back various alumni who attended the college through the years to take part in this fundraiser and be able to keep it going. Unfortunately, the fundraiser is not good because one of the alumni who returns to the college is murdered, and it's over to the Detective Chief Inspector Just. For some reason my brain went Jude just then. St. Jude. I just did it again. St. Just, to come to the university and try and figure out exactly what is going on. And from what I understand, as I said, this is the third novel. I believe St. Just is the inspector in the previous 2 as well. So there we are. And I have to say, I really didn't get along with this book whatsoever. It's only about 250 odd pages, and our victim is found probably about 50 pages in. So it is very quick. But the issue is that it feels like this book doesn't know which genre that it's actually relating to, or it should be sitting in. It's a murder mystery that is full of wit and weird backstory stuff, history that you really don't need, characters who are just too much. it just feels like, it felt like it was a caricature. It felt like I was in a Jeeves novel. Jeeves almost not a load of time. Just, what is this? Is this a parody? Is this meant to be genuine? I do not know. And so I was just confused the whole time. So let's go back to the start. Right, so we've got this initial setup telling you the history of the college, which I appreciated. You know, it was fast paced. It made jokes about various people through the history, you know, and such. And it's like, oh, okay, right. But that didn't mean then that when it came to like the second chapter, where they're talking about, right, we need to raise funds and everything, and set up for the fundraiser, it meant that there wasn't like a serious tone. I'm not saying it has to be like deadly, like dark and bitter and all that, like, oh my god, we're going to shut like within hours, we've got to raise money. No, but it just felt like then that when it came to actually the purpose, the reason why everyone was gathered, that it was just a bit of fluff. It was just meh. It was just nothing. So then it's like, well, okay, why then are we getting people traveling hundreds, even thousands of miles? Because one of our characters is a guy from Austin, Texas, in America, who comes to the college to raise funds. If straight away you're making this light and fluffy natured thing, it means to me that there's no real purpose as to why they would go there. Especially this is not set like in a historical setting either. So it's not like there aren't modern conveniences like online and such that they could do. I just felt like I was like baffled. Why are the characters traveling all of this way to go to this fundraiser that's just been felt like is a bit of fluff? That I was like, okay, by the by, let's just meet the characters and see how we go. And then I met the characters and I'm like, oh my god, I would never want to spend time with those group of characters. It's like everything was just too much with them. It's, you know how sometimes you can get characters where you just feel like, I need to turn the volume down on you. I need to do it. That is how I felt with this lot, and almost to the point where like the American Texan character was just so ridiculously like loud and almost like using stereotypical phrasing and such, and I felt like, oh my god, he comes in a cowboy hat and like going yeehaw and all this lot. I felt at any second that was going to happen. Like, Jesus Christ, no, I can't abide it. I cannot abide it. I stuck with it to the end because I was really frustrated with it, and it was only like 250 pages, and given that 100 pages is my stop off point usually, I was like, well, I'm already like halfway through this book, I will carry on. So that's the only reason why I carried on. Okay. But it just felt like, can more than one of them go? Just please, just I don't want to spend time with this group of individuals. Also, very annoyed that the writer, I don't know her first name, so it's just G.M.Malliet. So I'm just so given that I don't know the author's first name, I'm just going to refer to them as the author. The author did some really annoying things with the locations. Now, as mentioned, there is a map at the beginning. I had to keep on referring to the map to remember what the heck the layout was in the first place, because obviously this is a fictional college set on this just like fictional strip of land that's at the University of Cambridge. So, and I've never been to Cambridge. I don't know the layouts and such. I don't know any of that jazz. So I really depended on the maps to be able to help me. It's so frustrating that I had to keep going back to try and figure out where people were. And then in the end, it was like, that's the ending? Why the heck did I have to keep on doing that? If you know the end of the story, then you know. And I'm sorry, no, I didn't. It is so bloody annoying when you have the rug pulled out from you in that manner. Because it's like, well, what was the point? What was the actual point of this book? I always felt like Pam in Gavin and Stacey, you know, that thing of I go, is that it? Is that it? And it was just like, I didn't like the outcome. I didn't like any of the characters. I didn't like the fact that I had to keep on going to that map. I didn't like that there were things that didn't make sense. I didn't like the fact that this was just so light and fluffy. It was so fast. It made fun of serious things. The stereotypes, just everything. It was everything in my head was screaming, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And I don't want to put her down for her work, because obviously to be able to get a novel written, to get it published, all that, it takes a lot. And fair play to her, well done for having done that. But especially if this is a third book, that she has other books that she has written, how did it get to the point where the third book is like this? I kind of feel like this might, in all honesty, feels like a first book. It does. And I say that without having read her first book, and so it just feels like this has been made or been written as a bit of fluff to, like, you know those books that you see in holiday houses that you might rent a place, and there's like a little bookshelf of stuff that you might just pick up and read for a bit on your holiday but not really fully committed to, and you just see what you do. This is one of those books, I'm afraid, for me. I just no, it's just so awkward and clunky, and as I said, it doesn't know where it sits. It's too fluffy. No. Sorry, but no. Yeah, and I can't think of anything else to say about it. I mean, if you want for a positive side, I'd say, like, definitely, like, say for example that first chapter, the way that she paces the history of the college and has a bit of a light and fluffier way. If you want to read about light and fluffy, a book of example of a light fluffy way of getting through a lot of history in a very short span of time, then yeah, something like the first chapter of this, and also how you write a lighter atmosphere and such. I could possibly recommend it for that, but for the story, the characters, the actual events that happen, the ending, no, I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't. So yeah, there are some positives there, but not a lot, I'm afraid. Sorry. So that is my thoughts on Death at the Alma by G.M.Malliet. I can't think of anything else to say about it other than no. So time to ask my usual questions. Would I read this again? No. Would I recommend this? Only if you want to possibly read somebody's way of doing, a light, witty book and covering a lot of history in the space of a short amount of time, as mentioned. But for the actual story, no, I wouldn't recommend it. Would I read any more of G.M.Malliet's books? I'm really not fussed. I mean, I'll always give someone a second go because you can't judge just based on one book. It might just be that this is not a great one out of the range of books that she has, but I just don't think that her books and I would get along. But I will definitely, if I do come across another one, I'd be willing to give her another go. So there we go. Those are my thoughts on Death at the Almanac by G.M.Malliet. Have you read this book? I'd love to know what you think. Leave a comment in the comments box below. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, entirely at your side. And there we go. That's my last review of 2024. So next up will be my review of the year. Find out what my best and worst reads of the year were. So yeah, I will see you then. Bye.